Hey guys, so today's video is a video about all of my favorite brushes from the drugstore for a beginner. So it's basically like a beginner's drugstore makeup brush set. And I really wanted to create this video because, like I said in my last beginner makeup drugstore kit video, I watched so many of these videos when I was first starting out with makeup, and I really had a hard time kind of finding a video that gave me a very affordable option for all of my brushes from the drugstore. So that's what I'm going to try to give you guys today. I am going to give you like the bare minimum of what I think you should get, and then I'm also going to throw in a couple little extras if you do want to kind of spend just a little bit more and kind of have some new tools in your arsenal just to play with makeup. And it really just depends on how much you want to spend and how kind of elaborate you want your makeup to be. But yeah, if you guys want to see my recommendations, just keep watching. Alright guys, so for face, if you only wanted to buy two tools for your face, I would recommend the Real Techniques complexion sponge and the e.l.f. complexion brush. The sponge is super duper soft. You literally just squeeze it under water and it's ready to go. You can use it to apply your foundation, blend in concealer, powder your face, cream blush, cream bronzer. It's a very versatile tool and it's very inexpensive. And I really recommend this over a foundation brush because I think it's easier for beginners to use. I think it just blends the makeup in a little bit more easily and leaves you with a very beautiful natural finish. Alright, and the other face brush that I think you absolutely need is the e.l.f. complexion brush. Yes, mine is looking a little rough, but I've had this sucker for almost 5 years, and I've only very recently had some issues with shedding, but it's not even that bad. Like, the Morphe brushes I bought like a month and a half ago shed worse than this brush has in the 5 years that I've had it. But this is just an awesome multitasker brush. So, as you can see, it's kind of like a paddle-shaped brush, but then it's kind of thin on the side and tapered right here. And I think that really makes it a very versatile brush. When I first started out with makeup, I honestly used this brush for everything. I set my face with it, I bronzed my face with it, I used blush with this, I set my under eyes with it. This is such an amazing brush. It can really do it all. And if you only want to spend, I honestly think this is only like $3. If you only wanted to buy this and this, you would be absolutely fine. You can even apply highlighter with this if you just pinch it in a little bit and go directly on your cheekbone. It's a super duper versatile brush. It's extremely cheap, very soft. I cannot say enough good things about this one. Alright, now I'm going to give a couple recommendations for those who want to kind of get some more tools for more specific purposes instead of just using one thing for kind of everything. So my first recommendation is the Real Techniques blush brush. This has somewhat of a similar shape to the e.l.f. brush. They both have very tapered sides and they're both just kind of fluffy, but this one isn't really paddled shape, it's more circular shaped. This brush is super duper soft, and I have used this in the past to apply both blush and bronzer, and I think this is especially good for beginners because it applies a very soft wash of both. It's not going to give you like clown cheeks on the first application. It really helps you blend out blush. It applies it very softly. I think it's also really great for bronzer because it does have that kind of pointed shape, so you can get right in your cheekbone right there or right along the hairline. It's just a really awesome brush. Again, very inexpensive, very soft. Yeah, it's just a really awesome brush. Alright, and next up is the fan brush from e.l.f. This is also kind of a bonus brush, an extra brush. This I literally only use for highlighting, but it's like $3. It's a really awesome fan brush for that though. Applies product really nice to your cheekbones, down the bridge of your nose, on your cupid's bow. It's just a really awesome little fan brush if you want a very specific highlighting brush, or if you want a brush specific to highlighting when you're beginning, when you're starting out with makeup. Oh my gosh, I can't talk today. Alright, next I'm going to talk about the e.l.f. Flawless Concealer Brush. Now, this was a brush that I used when I first started out with makeup. I used it to blend in my under eye concealer, and I also used it to set it, not at the same time, because creams and powders mixing on a brush tends to make a really gross, like icky mess on the bristles. It's just blah, don't do that. But I use this to blend out my concealer, to set my concealer. I've seen people on YouTube actually use it for highlighting, which I think it would also be really nice for. It's a very dense brush. It's very soft. What I use it for today is to kind of blend out the creases that I get in my under eyes after I apply concealer, because it happens no matter what concealer I use. But this really just blends those out really seamlessly, kind of distributes the excess product so I don't have those creases anymore. It's just an awesome little brush. Alright guys, now onto eyes, and I feel like the drugstore has the hardest time kind of making eye brushes up to par with like MAC or Sigma or Morphe. They just don't have quite the variety of eye brushes, but I have found a couple really awesome picks for you guys. So the first one is the Real Techniques, I believe it's called Eye Brush Essentials Kit, but these little brushes are awesome. I got this set, how long ago? Several years ago. Oh my goodness. I got this set several years ago, and I adore these little brushes. You have this little teeny tiny smudge brush to do some detail work on your lower lash line. You could do detail work in the outer corner or in the crease. You have this really fluffy brush to kind of blend out all of your eyeshadow, or apply like a brow bone highlight. You have this base shadow brush. This one, you could use this to kind of wedge some product up into your crease, or you could just pat product on your lid. But I do really think that if you buy this set, I mean, you'd be fine if you bought this set, but if you bought this set, I am going to recommend a brush in just a minute that I think would be an awesome addition to this that's super cheap. And then there's this eyebrow brush. This I use to apply pomade into my brows, and I think it does a really nice job. This set is no longer actually available, but I have seen it at TJ Maxx a lot, and I think it's like $8 there. But the new set that they have, it also looks excellent. The brushes look really nice. I think they changed a brush. I can't remember which one they changed, but I think they did change a brush, and it might be just a little bit fluffier, which is actually what the one that I said to go along with this one. That's kind of the only thing that this set is missing, so yeah, definitely check that one out too. Alright, so you could buy that set and be totally fine, but here are some other options for you at the drugstore. So, of course I have a lot of e.l.f. brushes. I think e.l.f. brushes are phenomenal. So the first one that I have is this e.l.f. eyeshadow C brush. This is just a really nice brush for kind of packing color over your lid. You could also use it to smudge color under your lower lash line. And I also have the e.l.f. You can use this for your brows, you can use this for liner. It's a really nice little versatile brush, and I think it gives kind of like the perfect line. It's not too thick, it's not too thin. I just really love this little brush. The next brush from e.l.f. that I'm talking about is actually very new to my collection. I actually bought it specifically for this video, and it is the e.l.f. blending brush. Now, this brush I bought to kind of function as like a MAC 217, just kind of a fluffy tapered crease brush. It's not quite to the like fluffiness of like a fluffy crease brush, like what we'd use to like buff out the edges, but it does have a little bit of fluffiness to it. And at first I thought, oh, this isn't going to be fluffy enough, it's not going to disperse the product how I want, but I used it yesterday and I was so pleasantly surprised to see how it compared to my Morphe M433. This one's dirty, excuse that I used it to do my eyes today, but you can tell the thickness difference. But honestly, when I put them on my eyes and I applied product, it really wasn't that different, which I thought was so amazing, because I think this kind of brush is what the drugstore has been lacking so badly. But I really love this one. Trust me, you'd be fine without this brush. You could make it work, but I think that this would be really awesome to use in conjunction with that Real Techniques set. It just really helps with like very detailed crease work. Not very detailed crease work, but it helps you really pack color on in the crease and really blend it out and place it where you want it. But yeah, overall, amazing little brush. Alright, last brush that I'm going to recommend is the Sonia Kashuk number 10 brush. Now, this is somewhere in between the last crease brush that I showed you and like the super thick Real Techniques one. This brush is a fluffy brush, and what I use this for now is to kind of throw in a transition shade. It applies crease colors very softly. This brush is super soft. It's a little bit tapered on the side, but yeah, I really love this brush. I use this a ton when I was first starting out with makeup. It really does apply any crease color very softly, and it blends it very nicely. And yeah, I really love this brush. I've had it for years and years, and it has stayed together beautifully. No shedding, still very soft. I love it. Alright guys, those are all the brush picks that I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I really hope this video was helpful for you. I know when I was starting out with makeup, I was watching so many YouTube videos trying to really figure out what was good and what I should buy, and I just really hope that I find a beginner out there and that this really helps them and helps them kind of grow their little brush collection. But yeah, I really hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you in my next one. Bye!